Hi, Algebra Specialists. Today we're doing Everyday Math, 6th grade, lesson 9.5, and we're working on simplifying and solving equations. So in the past we've had problems where we didn't have to actually find answers. Today, because they're actually equations, we'll be solving the problems to find what x equals or what y equals. Some of the words that you need to know for today include combining like terms. That's when you take all of the b's, for example, on one side and mix them together until you end up with a total number of that variable that you have on one side. That's called combining like terms. You can also do that with numbers, and the numbers in a problem like this, an algebra problem, are called constants. So when you're working on these problems, you want to get all the numbers, all the constants on one side, and all the variables on the other side of the equation. And you also need to remember that whatever you do to one side of the problem, you also have to do the other. So if you subtract 7 from one side, you have to equally subtract 7 from the other side. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do all those tools that you've used before. You're going to distribute numbers through parentheses, do the inside the parentheses first, do all the multiplication before the adding. Those same order of operation rules apply to what we're doing today. Here's an example problem of what you'll see today. The first thing you'll need to do in this problem is you'll need to distribute 3 through the parentheses here. So you'll end up 3 times 9, which is 27, and 3 times b, which is 3b. Remember that 3b or 3 times b, whichever way it's written, it's the same thing. On the other side of the equal sign, you'll need to distribute 6 through that side. So you'll have 6 times b and 6 times 3. So that I have written down here as 6b and 18. So this is our new equation. These are called equivalent equations because they're exactly the same to one another. They balance each other out. They're equal. Now I've realized that I need to get rid of my variables on one side of the equation and the other. I chose to get rid of the smaller one. So I subtracted 3b from this side, ended up with 0. Subtracted 3b from this side, ended up with only 3b left. So my new equation is 27, that's what's left here, equals 3b, that's what I had left here, and I brought down the 18. Okay, now just like in hands-on equations, the variables and the constants don't get along. We don't want them together on the same side of an equation. So we subtracted 18 here. That would leave the variable all by itself on that side, which is what we want. If you subtract 18 from this side, you have to equally subtract 18 from the other side. 27 minus 18 equals 9. Rewriting our equivalent equation is 9, that's what's left, equals 3b. Now we just have to divide each side by 3 to get rid of how many b's we have altogether. So divide by 3, divide by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. We get a final solution for this equation of b equals 3. Now if we went back and put 3 into the equation, we could prove it in that equivalent equation as well. So these are all equivalent equations as we go down. It must stay balanced on each side of the equal sign as you go through the process. So just to review, you want to get all the variables on one side, all the numbers called constants on the other side. You want to distribute any numbers in front of parentheses through the parentheses. You also want to do what's inside the parentheses before you move on to the next part of the problem. Once you have finished that part, you want to get, it's called isolating the variable. You want the variables on one side and the numbers or constants on the other. And then you'll move through subtracting or adding or dividing as long as it's balanced on each side. You'll do this for all of the problems. The problems you have today will end up having an equal sign at the bottom. Today I want you to work on math boxes 338, 339 first, which is today's lesson, and then math sheet, math journal page 337 is a review. It's what we've been working on. So today's whole lesson is combining the things we've been working on the last few days into the goal that we were getting to, which is actually solving algebraic expressions and equations, which means that you are officially doing algebra now. So good job.